Pamela, start looking into the abandoned towns all across America. There's a bunch of towns out there that you can buy. Brother Maurice, I have seen some towns as low as $100,000. You can buy the whole town for $100,000. And I've seen some for, $300,000 for the whole town. And of course, if you want like a bigger sized town, that would require like $1 million to $2 million. But you can buy everything in town, like the standing abandoned stores, the standing house. You would own literally everything. And many of these towns already got like a fire department, remnants of a fire department, remnants of stores, and you can just take and build all that stuff back up instead of starting from scratch. Of course, that would be up to you.
It's interesting. I didn't know that they had these.
Yeah, they got it in every state. They got it in every single state in this country, have abandoned towns.
And who would you be buying the town from?
You can call the local realtors in each state and just ask them. They should be able to get you every detail about the abandoned town and how much they're selling them for. Any local realtor within any state should be able to get you that information.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And I know they have some here in New Jersey, and some of them had houses that were spanking brand new. But when the housing bust happened, they didn't sell. And so the houses are just sitting there. So some of them are a little dilapidated now. But if you drove through there, you would be blown away at how brand new the houses are. But the whole neighborhood is literally empty. There's nobody living there. So we even got them around here, condos that are just sitting there. and that's what happened after the housing bubble. They could not get people to buy, homes in those brand new constructed neighborhoods. So the houses are just sitting there. We got them here. I know there's some places over in Pennsylvania that got them. And I was looking online probably about last week, and I saw a few towns down in Georgia that were up for sale. So, like I said, you want to do all the research on the demographics and make sure, if before you buy the town, you definitely want to test the soil, test the water, because you don't want to get any place that's contaminated. And you just want to, you can go to the township and find out information about the actual town and if there was any problems with it, so, you can get all of that information beforehand from the county that the town is sitting in. And then you can decide that you wanted a private closed community. That's not illegal. You can do that. You can have a gated community. You can turn that town into a big gated community.
Oh, wow. Sounds exciting. And I looked into this. It sounds very, very, very exciting. Yes, ma'am. Sure is. Wow. It's very, very interesting. Sure is. I didn't even know nothing like this was,
Yes, that's because they won't tell people like me and you. They won't tell people like us. But yeah, this stuff exists, and it always has. And of course, the more rural you go, the cheaper it's going to be.
Right.
But I'm sure, like you were talking about Mississippi, I'm sure Mississippi got to have those towns all over it because, like I said, it's in every state.
So, as far as, so these towns these towns, nobody lives in them?
Nobody lives in the town. The towns are completely, what happened was, especially in the South, Maurice, what happened was those towns did not have businesses. They did not have enough businesses to really hire all of the residents. And as the younger generation grew, they just went to the bigger cities and went to the suburbs or went to other states to work. And the older people, they just kind of died out and the town just kind of got left sitting there. In most cases, they got abandoned because it just wasn't work down there for the younger generation. So they just left those towns.
Wow.
And because it's just like, for example, my father grew up in a town called Ocilla, Georgia. When you go down to Ocilla, Georgia, you might find a few fast food restaurants. They just put a Walmart there, I think, like around 2008. But everything else in the town is exactly the way it was 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And the town is still very segregated, too. White on one side, blacks on the other. So they have not evolved at all. And if you stood in the middle of that town, there is literally nothing there. That's why my father left. He said there was no work. There was nothing for them to do. So they eventually ventured up to Philadelphia. And the younger people, they eventually, went to colleges in other states. And they just decided to settle in those states. And they never went back. So you got a big portion of the town that's just sitting there. Houses are empty. They are just sitting there. So, and it's a lot of places all over the South like that.
Wow. Sure is. And we can really use those. We can really use those, and they just sit up there and then waste it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I was even looking at some of the houses because they got these even in Europe. They got them in, even other parts of the world. And I was looking at, and I know we're not going to move anywhere like this, but I was looking as early as yesterday, and they had an abandoned town over in Italy. And they are so desperate to do something with those abandoned towns, they're selling the houses for $1.
Wow.
So people will take them and fix them up and start living in the town again. And I just thought that was pretty interesting that they were doing that.
There it is. Wow, $1.
Yeah, because some of those places people haven't lived there for decades, but like I said, the shell of the houses are still there.
There's this place in New Jersey called Wildcat. And they had 16 residents in this town. And it was abandoned in 1960 due to the Taalik Dam project, which since has been named one of the best places to live in New Jersey. Wow, there's 16 people live there.
Yeah. And see, those are the places you can easily take over, especially if they got the rest of that town up for sale. And like I said, you just call whatever realtor there is, and you could probably call, because I know sometimes if you call the municipality in that town, or if they have one, you can probably ask them for, if they have anything like a list of abandoned homes or a town that's available in the county, and they should be able to tell you. Because I was even looking at one in Utah. They had one in Utah, and I think they were selling that town for $500,000 for the whole town. But out there, it was a lot of farmland. But that's really not a bad thing, especially if you're trying to be self-sufficient, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Quite amazing. Mm-hmm. It would be the subject around all of the town, or whatever.
Everything. Yep, that's right. You be the mayor. You have black city council. You make the whole thing black.
Yes, ma'am. Wow.
Is Brother Taalik is here?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh. Peace and love, brother.
How you doing? How's everybody doing? Peace and respect, everybody.
Yeah. Sister Tamara, how are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. This is Brother Miko.
Oh, yeah, bro. Peace and love.
Yeah, I was listening to the sister, and she's absolutely right. You know, when you consider doing a project like this, if industry and certainly being able to employ people is going to be a big part of that. And the difficulty, is to getting somebody to relocate or getting companies to relocate into those towns so you can have some employment. That's probably going to be the biggest hurdle, unless you have some type of plan that gets around bringing companies in to work. But that's going to be a challenge.
That's what we have to figure that out. Now, before I get into my little spiel first, let's do a roll call real quick so we know who all that we have. So we get a mouth ourselves. I'll start off with my research here. Sister Tamara,
Miko.
Brother Angel Snubbing Up 7 is here, brother.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, yeah, okay, yes. Oh, so she said it. All right.
Yes. I'll go before you go in. I didn't know what direction you want to go in. But go ahead.
We're gonna get there because I think Xavier and the Southern to start off of why he came up with the idea of Mississippi. And then I was going to talk about 2 towns that I thought about in Mississippi and why I think that we can take those. And then I want to be able to discuss what Sister Lisa has done on the table about buying towns and definitely get into what you're bringing to the table about the business aspect. Because if we cannot produce our own economics, then we're building it out. We're not going to make it anywhere. So it's a big project, but it's a project that I believe is very doable. I believe the time that we are in right now is, the best time to strike. We just got to make sure we fight about it, got all the pieces in play, and being able to sustain it once we do make that move, and then also being able to sustain the attack that will come after we do such a bodacious move such as that. So, real quick, I'm going to turn it over to Brother Taalik. Why'd you pick Mississippi?
Yes, sir. First of all, greetings to everybody in the conference. And I would like, thank you. I would like to first just apologize here. I'm very fatigued. The job that I do is require a lot, to take a lot out of me, and I'm sort of fatigued. But I want to try to get through this because we have to take advantage of any time that we can get in this discussion. I would hope after we do talk about this that you would go see the video that I did make that Brother Maurice did watch. It's called Brother Farrakhan, Let's Take Control of the State of Mississippi, or something to that effect. Let's take control of Mississippi. So that you could probably go into more detail in what I'm trying to say. But I tried to make things more briefly and short to the best I can right now. And I was listening to the sister and speaking about the towns and things of this nature. I had, not too long ago, I had thought about that myself. In fact, I had done a little research on the different towns and under $1 million that you could get, and you could do this and do that with those towns. And that's good, I guess, if you trying to form a cult or something. You want to get your people out from the cities and places. You want to get your people out so you can brainwash them with nobody around. That's good, but I'm not looking to form a cult. I'm looking to gain power to those who are powerless. And you cannot gain power just by buying one town when you're looking at trying to change the destiny of 40 to 70 million dark-skinned people, the people I call a soul in this nation. You're not going to be able to do that. It's a slow process trying to take town to town and city to city. It's too slow. And right now, I also agree with Brother Maurice. You know, I don't know how much time that we have left. You know, we keep screwing around. Time waits for no one. And you have to strike when that time comes. You know, if you don't, you lose it all. And I'm the type of person right now at this point in time, we've been going back and forth and doing this stuff for going on 500 years. And it's not getting nowhere, this little tiddlywink stuff that we're doing. I suggest that we go for the gusto and see, it's not about the Nation of Islam. It's not about the Moorish Science Temple. It's not about me. It's not about individuals or groups. It's about us as a people. And so the people must get involved in this large project. If they wish not to get involved in a large project that can change the destiny, the reality of their life forever, then perhaps it is best that we just stop doing what we're doing and just go with the flow until the end, because nobody's going to help us. We're going to have to do this on our own. Nobody's going to give us anything, and I don't want nobody to give us nothing. You have to want your freedom. We're not asking for you to give your life, but we're asking for you to sacrifice and think about your future generations in order to get this job done. Simply put, I'm suggesting that we take control of a state. I'm not saying that we own the state. I'm saying that we take control of the politics. You control the politics, you control the law. And that way you can control all of that, all the whole state by controlling the politics. You go in, we already basically got the numbers. Brother Maurice submitted not too long ago, which is much less than I thought it would be. The population, the only thing we have to do basically is increase the population. Well, let me start off by saying this. Your first step is to go into the state of Mississippi and present it to the local people. They must accept what you're talking about, because they're going to be like the soldiers. They're the main ones on the ground. It's just like when the United States invaded Iraq. They went in with their propaganda and talked to the people so the people would be on their side and they would help the United States as they went into Iraq. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be going into the state of Mississippi with our campaign, selling this idea to the people, because they're going to be very key in your success, because they are already there. They are going to be the foot soldiers that you need in order to move this program. We're gonna need them so that they'll be on your side. So when we use this right to vote, which our ancestors died and bled for, which that was the reason why the crackers kicked our people out of those southern states anyway, because we had a large population. We were doing good. They didn't want us to take over by using our vote and the political system, because if the crackers did not lynch, murder, and rape, and was nothing but domestic terrorists, if they did not do that to our people, we would be running those states right now anyway. There's no doubt about it. And that's what they wanted to prevent, and they used violence in order to stop that. But now, however, we are in 2018. We have that vote, and really not using that vote to its potential. We can go in, bring in masses of people, cause them to become residents, and we can win every election and put who the hell we want to into these offices, including the governor's mansion. It sounds like it's simple. It is as simple as that. And we just like you pay to support your troops in the army, those who are on the outside, first of all, you do support your people that's on the ground, that's already your locals. And you support those, and you bring our people and families who can go into that state and become residents. You support their efforts, and you support them to come in all over the country. We support our people that's going in just like they were soldiers, because that's really what this is. This is a military operation. We are invading this state. However, now it has to be a certain mentality. That's why I'm asking all preachers and pastors in that state to help in this effort, because they cannot stay locked up in that church. They must come out. They must come out and help our people and be an inspiration and example of what righteous behavior is. Like I was telling Brother Maurice, we have to be a righteous people. We have to be a loving people to one another, even if you have to pretend. I don't have to like you. Just get up every morning and say, how you doing? Well, it's nice weather. It don't make no difference whether you like me or not. It's the goal that we're trying to accomplish, just like if you are on a job. You don't have to like everybody on the job. It's the goal and the purpose of what you're trying to do. You're trying to take over, take control. Now, remember, I want to make something clear too now. This still is the United States of America. You're taking control of the politics, but remember, we're not trying to change people's religion. We're not nobody's moral authority. We're trying to put our people in a more better position than they are within the rest of the country, and give us a tool to work with. Because if you can take control of that state, then you have the assets of that state. You have the control of the National Guard. You have control of the economic flow. And even if people leave, see, this thing here is very big. It's very large. But it also puts a lot of burden on you, because you say, many of you say, I'm a god, I'm a warrior, and I'm a goddess. Well, if you're a warrior and a goddess and all these things, hot things, white people ain't better than me. I don't need no white folks to exist. Well, here's your opportunity. Take control of a state. That ain't like building your nation from scratch. That's not nothing. That's not even like building a town. It's just taking control of something that already exists so that you can have advantage of what this state has to offer. It puts you in a position where you can ask and do things we've never been able to do before, like for reparations. Well, now you can ask for reparations. You have a state that you have under control. Why can't the United States help their state? You owe us anyway. It's coming. It's not like it's going to go outside the country. It's coming right here to the state. There's a lot of things that you can ask. You can ask for our political prisoners. You can ask for those brothers and sisters who was involved in the civil rights era that's locked up in these prisons. So look, you can go to the federal government as a state, not as individuals or organization or group. As a state, you can go to the federal government and say, look, give them to us and we'll take care of them. They will never leave the state of Mississippi. Give them to us and we'll take care of them. As a state, as individuals, as groups, you're not going to be respected. But as a state, and as a state that's doing well, that opens the door to all kinds of things, not only in the United States, but your whole reputation would change around the world. Matter of fact, you can go in to Mississippi, and because of the mindset of the people, and you show people that you can have the lowest crime rate, your teenage pregnancy rate is low, you got the best food, organic type of food, you know, everything that you're doing is just right on time. You are an example of what the nations of the earth should be like. Matter of fact, you're going to have all kinds of folks wanting to come where you at when you can show and prove that you can do exactly what you claim to be, and that is God. But right now we're doing a lot of talking and we're not making no real moves. It's not as, the only reason why this cannot be done is because we don't want to do it. Because we talk a good game, but we don't want to walk the walk. It's wonderful to have a little town. It's good to open up a school or a business. Tiddlywink stuff. They've been doing that ever since Marcus Garvey. Ain't nobody ever attempted to take control of a state, which should be ours anyway, if them damn devils didn't murder and terrorize our people and run them out of their home. So the only thing we're doing is reclaiming what's ours anyway. And then, of course, you know, this is the United States. You can't keep, it's not like you can keep people out. I mean, the Caucasians can live there and anybody else can come. The only difference you're doing is putting yourself in a better position to bargain, a better position to exist. Because if something do go down, at least our people have what I call a safe haven where they can come and feel secure. Because we're looking at life, especially during this time of the Trump, you don't know what might happen with this wacko that's in office. And when it comes down to survival, it's every man for himself. And I guarantee you, since racism still exists, everybody gonna be looking out for themselves. Who gonna look out for the black man and woman in America? If you don't start doing it and take a chance to do it yourself, if things get bad, you're gonna be in bad shape because you're not going to be wanted anywhere because you ain't got nothing to offer. What do we have to offer? We don't have nothing to offer. So this is something, it sounds simple, it is. It's complex, yes it is. The only problem why it cannot be successful is the fact that we don't want to do it. Because we for some reason we hold back. You know, in this situation, this is like war. When the Caucasian went to war in Germany, people in this country gave up their gold. They rationed their food. Do you know why comic books are so expensive? Why they worth so much? Because these people gave up all their paper. They gave up their valuables for the war effort. We are at war. This is a war effort. This is our, as Brother Maurice said, this is our headquarters. This is our Mecca. This is our base of operation. If you can be successful, which we should not even use the word if. When you are successful in this, then you got Alabama, then you got Georgia, you got other places that you can do the same thing because we have the same situation, high population. Bring your people in. Support our soldiers on the ground just like we would support our soldiers. Those who can't move to Mississippi, then we go in our pockets and we sacrifice and we support our people going in. In the meantime, since we claim that we're so this and that, then create your own business there. Your own business is there. Matter of fact, now you are in a position where you can negotiate with Africa or China yourself and bring businesses in, or from Taiwan or wherever the hell you want to bring businesses in. And you can do things your way. There's no glass ceiling no more. You've taken down the glass ceiling. There's nobody there that can tell you what you can and cannot do. And that's the benefit. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice.
I'm following you on this.
Yes.
And I understand where you're coming from, but I really think you're off the mark with the cult thing. Most of those cults were white. And that wouldn't even be the same for our people. And you have to establish somewhere. Now, let me ask you something. Why Mississippi and not other states?
Okay. Well, first of all, I was just using that as an example. I wouldn't talk about no cult.
That have set up in towns were white. Those weren't our people doing that. So it would not be the same for us. I mean, black people, let's face it, we don't have towns like that where we're setting up cults.
No, you're misunderstanding.
Living and surviving.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I was just using that as an example.
There are black states now, such as South Carolina. South Carolina is predominantly black. Caucasians
run South Carolina.
Right, but I'm saying it's still predominantly black.
But what I'm saying is that what we're doing.
More people people into South Carolina, we can't even take them out of power.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yes. Hey, this is Brother Ozzy. I'm at work and I'm on break, so I just want to be real brief. I'll be real brief with my comment. I'm wondering if the sister who was talking earlier, did she look into, or did any of you look into the program that they have in Baltimore, Maryland, where they're selling these houses for $1?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay.
Now, especially if you're interested in a city type area, see, it really depends on what you're looking for and what type of area you want to establish. Because, let's face it, it's not just about throwing people into a state. You still got to establish an area where you want to begin building up. So, you have to determine or do you want to buy up those city properties and start there? Or are you looking more of a suburban area where everybody has more land? See, well, that really has to be open for discussion.
Right. I get that. And my thing is, I'm going to use Detroit as an example because 2 years ago, and we can look at Baltimore too, they have mostly a majority black government in Baltimore City.
Right. And
we can see what they're going through now.
You're right. There's
also
a lot of property. Detroit has a lot of property just sitting there unoccupied.
Right, but you can see the trick bag that white supremacy pulled. Because 2 years ago, Detroit was in bankruptcy. Now they're acting like everything is fine. Now that they have a white mayor and a white majority government, and they're moving white people in and moving the black people out.
I got family in Detroit, so I'm very well versed on what's going on up there.
I want people to just pay attention to that sort of mentality that white supremacy has, as far as, because, they gave up on Detroit 2 or 3 years ago. They was like, oh, Detroit is done. They this, they that. Now all of a sudden, now that they're taking down Joe Louis Arena and all that, they put up this Caesar's Palace or whatever. That's like a mental sign to black people that, hey, the white people are back. We're taking over the city, and everything's going to be fine. Right. You can see it right here in D.C. too, and that's unfortunate. And I appreciate my brother speaking. Brother, you made a lot of good points, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
And I just want to say peace to the family. Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to go back on mute, and I'm going to be listening, and I'll chime in when I can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No. I mean, there was a lot of great things said, but what I'm saying is, we don't want to go too crazy on this in the beginning. In the beginning, it's all about finding a location to start establishing, building our population with people that look like us. So if Mississippi is the target that we're talking about and what we're looking for, then it is time for us to get a map and find out the areas around that state that can accommodate the kind of people that we want there. Now, are we talking about the northern part of the state that we're going to start in, or the southern part?
Okay, let me say this. Okay, I don't think that you are actually comprehending what I'm saying. Only thing I'm saying, basically, is you're starting with taking over the politics. It makes no sense to go in and do those things and you're still under the law and the jurisdiction of those who don't like you. My agenda. Well, sister, you keep cutting me off. I'm just going to be quiet and let you talk because I'm not going. You keep cutting me off here. I'm trying to explain something to you here.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a step-by-step activity. Like I said, this is a war. This is a war. You go in and you have to establish the fact that your locals is with you. That's the first thing that you want to do. And you have to let them, you have to tell them of your plans of what you want to do and get the people on your side. That's the first thing that you want to do, the locals. Once it's established that your preachers and pastors and those locals that's in that state which don't necessarily be Mississippi, but it could be anywhere. But right now, it seems as though Mississippi is a good place to start because you don't hear too much talk about Mississippi. It's below the radar. So it'll be a good time to go in, get your locals, and get them inspired on the idea. There must be a certain mentality that we must have in order to do this and be successful. So you must establish this mentality, this mindset, before you even begin to actually move in outside troops. Your first line of defense, your first people that you have to convince are the locals. They are your first. Because what we're doing is just taking control. We're not trying to own anything. We're trying to control the law, control the politics. Because if you can do that, all other things just makes it much, much easier. Now, either once those who are in power see that they are going, they don't have a future, they are either going to play ball games with us or we just move them out simply by our voting power. That's why you move in the necessary troops to reside there, become residents, and like I say, you pick your politicians, those are who are going to be in these offices in all these different counties, and you just basically win every election, including the governor house. That's what you're doing. And then you move from there. But in order to maintain, once you're able to establish that, there must be a certain mindset so that you can keep control. Because just like Brother Maurice always said too, niggas can't do this. Negro having a nigger mentality or Negro mentality is not going to make this successful. The only thing a nigger mentality will do is cause great embarrassment. And that's something we're not going to do. And if we do it step by step and make sure that we build a strong foundation, this could be successful, and it don't even take a whole lot of work. Also, it should be a nationwide effort because this movement, this activity benefits the whole nation of the whole 47 million that's in this nation. It opens the doors to things that you could not even imagine. A small town, taking over a small town, little by little, that's not going to make it. You have to think big. It's either all or nothing. We keep making these claims that we gods and goddesses, and we can do this and we can do that, playing tiddlywinks, doing little tiny stuff. You've been here 500 years. Go for it. Go for the gusto.
You're starting to repeat yourself, brother.
Yeah, I know.
You're starting to repeat yourself.
Yeah, I know. I got it. You know, you got to go for the gusto. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. It's not that complex. The only thing that make it complex is the fact that we don't want to do it because we're comfortable how we're living right now.
Okay, can I go real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, brother. What I want to say is I want everybody to remember that, everybody that is here was invited, and they're invited because, I respect their mind. I respect their mind. And particularly, I love them. They're my family. So, and to build a nation, as Micah has taught us, he says, this is grown for conversation. So, when he said that before, when he said this is grown for conversation, then we got to make sure that as adults, we're able to hear each other and express the thoughts because we are working for something for the betterment of the whole of our people.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's aspect that we're putting in, we want to listen to and we want to learn from. The stuff that Sister Lisa was saying about purchasing terms and doing this and doing that is really important. She brings up stuff that I haven't even thought about. And that's the beauty of having different people learn so that you can listen because they're going to say things that you didn't think about. They're going to know things that you don't know anything about. I don't know anything about. You know, I live in my area, and I'm good in my area. Now, you get me outside of my area, we're in trouble. So, you gotta make sure it's not everybody that can do their business and handle their business.
I agree.
Yeah, another thing,
well, no, sister, go ahead. I'll jump in after you. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. I just want to touch on what Brother Martin said. You all are busy, you have great ideas, and the thing is, we can try one thing for this with this talk about, you know, we can try maybe Sister Lisa, who knows, or the other brother Taalik, you know, and just to do that, to see which area or idea is the best for that. But the most important thing is to be able to listen to each other respectfully, and then that way, you know, it'll be more harmony and more growth. Will definitely grow here. So with that, I guess my mic. Thank you.
That's definitely family. I believe that, you know, everything that we've talked about is possible. The only thing that I think is holding us back, and, you know, I'm going to say it, is that, you know, Black people have become cowards. You know, I've been driving around the city today at my job, and I just been going by Starbucks on purpose. And everybody knows what's going on in Starbucks. If you don't, then there was three Black gentlemen were arrested by the police. They're just sitting inside the Starbucks, waiting on somebody to do business. They were just sitting there waiting. They didn't order anything, and apparently the manager called the police on them, and they got arrested.
Yeah, I did.
They weren't doing anything. But I go by these Starbucks today in my travels, and I'm seeing Black people inside these Starbucks. And my thing is, we're cowards.
Wow.
That's the only way that we can say it. We are cowards. We're cowardly. Because my thing is, as soon as I saw that video, and I don't go to Starbucks anyway, but, you know, if I was thinking about it, it's off my list now. Brother Malcolm said, don't shop where they don't want you at. And we can see each other in these different corporations and companies, we still, you know, go to these corporations for services or whatever.
Right.
But my thing is, as far as the politicians go and politics and all that, I live in Prince George's County. That's a majority. The majority Black government. But they're passing some of the craziest laws against their own people.
Exactly.
If we don't hold these in some way, shape, or form, this is what we get.
Exactly.
We get Black people trying to assimilate and act like they white. Even with Kirkpatrick up in Detroit. I'm gonna go back to Detroit. You know, even with him, you know, he was hamstrung by the hamstring American. But my thing, the difference between him and Marion Barry, he was all about the people. You couldn't tell him that. He was all about the people, and he wasn't going to take the mess that Congress was shipping out. And forget you know, whatever y'all want to do. Some people called him a crook or whatever, but he did what he had to do for his people. And until, like Brother Maurice said, until we have people with that mentality, you know, it's really going to be hard to get people and put people in place.
Right. You have a lot of good points, and I'm agreeing with damn near everything you're saying. I really do. See, I got misgivings, and this is where it really got me, is when you were talking about go down there and get the pastors and just look at the situation in Black communities. You can drive through any given Black community in America, and there's damn near a church on every corner. And what are those pastors doing right now for the community? I just don't have a lot of confidence in church pastors for all good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you think you can win these people over, I'm just not confident in that, because I see the standing situation right now in my town where I am. I could literally walk to 4 different churches in walking distance of my home. All 4 of these churches are black churches. Those churches are not doing anything but making the pastor rich. Those pastors are not doing a lot for this community. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So for me to cross into another state and relying on a pastor to pull this together, I'm just not confident in that. I don't know where the rest of y'all stand. I'm just going by what I have experienced around these black churches. If you have an experience, then please let me know what that experience is. I can only go by the one that I have lived. And I don't see all this togetherness with these pastors in the community. I just don't see it.
Can I respond?
That's why I love Realist because he holds people accountable. The Nation of Islam, they hold their soldiers accountable. And that's one thing we don't do with these pastors. Hold them accountable to the people.
Right.
That's the one thing that we have to get away from. If we go down to Mississippi and talk to these pastors, we got to let them know we got to have a power structure in place that will hold them accountable if they don't do what we tell them to do. We got to be like the mafia, for real. And on that, I'm going to yield.
Thank you for that.
Because you just look at the experience, and many of these pastors they have the mindset of, you tithe to me, you give to me, and it's not a lot of giving back. We have seen stories where their own parishioners need help with a few bills, and the pastors got a problem helping their parishioners with bills. So that's where I'm just saying my confidence level is not big on these pastors for all good reasons. But I am all for bringing us together in a state and just doing this thing right, where we have all the resources that we need while we're taking over. That's really important, because if you're not going to provide, resources that people need and give them the confidence, you're going to be okay if you come down to the state because we got A, B, and C in place, then that's all good. But just running down there and trying to talk to these pastors that have not done well by the black community, I just don't know.
Can I respond?
That way.
Can I respond? Well,
yes, yes.
Okay. First of all, again, I don't know. I think that y'all losing me somewhere, because I was just using that as an example, because there's more influential people in the state of Mississippi than pastors and preachers. You have educators, you have business owners, you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of people in there that you need to contact and get on your side, not just the religious community.
Mainly talking about pastors. That's why I'm just brought that up.
Right, but I'm not just talking about. I'm not as far as I bring up pastors and preachers because they're supposed to be the figures of moral authority. So if you represent moral authority, then
that's not what they are.
Well, I'm just saying if that's what you claim to be. Now, me personally, I've been around pastors and preachers for a long time myself, and I don't know about this present generation, but a lot of the pastors and preachers, many of my preacher friends, they're deceased now, but they were very good men. Matter of fact, most of them had small congregations because they was very real about theirs. But it's all about communication. It's all about talk, and then, like this brother just mentioned, might have to, this is not the place to speak, but you might have to do some other drastic stuff, but this has to be done. Now I'll tell you, I sent a copy of the video that I made. I made a video called Brother Farrakhan, Let's Take Control of Mississippi. And I put that in the mail today. I sent it to Minister Farrakhan certified mail. And I was in the post office, and majority of the employees were nothing but soul brothers and sisters. And the brother, he said, "Wow, this is going to Minister Farrakhan." He said, "I don't mean to be nosy. What you sending to Minister Farrakhan?" And I explained to the brother, I told him that he could watch the video. It's nothing secret. You can watch the video on YouTube. But I explained to them very briefly about what the idea is. And all the employees was like, "That's where it's at. That's where it's at." You know, we have to, you know, hear, you know, the details. I'm trying to put something briefly in a short term. But the details is a step-by-step process that you go little by little, and you change as you go along. But when I'm talking about pastors and preachers, I'm not just talking about pastors and preachers or none of that type of thing. I'm talking about actually the residents. But of course, if you can get those with influence on your side that can help you, makes things a whole lot easier. You don't have to go from individual to individual. You know, I don't mind going into the strip clubs. I don't mind going into the liquor stores, wherever our people are at, and speak with them on this idea. It's an idea that needs to be discussed. First of all, it don't mean nothing if nobody want to accept the idea, don't understand and comprehend what the benefits is. It don't make no sense anyway if you don't want to do nothing anyway. So it don't make any sense. However, if you really look at it, it's simple, but it's complex. If you want to do it, it can be done. It's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. It's the idea. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Miko. Yeah, the sister, I think her name is Lisa. I mean, she's really on point. Just a little bit of background. So I don't know if anybody else has elected official experience, but I was a city commissioner for 6 years in Michigan, and we were able to. It was a predominantly black town, 98% black population, and so we were able to kind of wiggle control, parts of control away from white folk. We were able to get the police department. It was majority white. We were able to get it back to majority black. But I'm gonna tell you, the major enemy, internal enemy to independence like that will be black churches. Make no mistake about it. Our major battles were with preachers. We had to fight them before we fought white folks.
Wow.
So the sisters have to meet.
That's the way it is in my town, brother. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. In my town, they don't go with the black population. They usually go against the grain. Yeah. And, you know, we can form unity among each other, you know, the residents in the town, but it is very rare for those pastors to be on our side. I'm just telling you, you might have a whole different experience, and I understand that, you know, and I respect what you're saying. But I'm just saying my experience being around 4 black churches, it is rare to see those pastors with the people that actually live in those towns every day. Those pastors are really not with us at all. And I'm just saying that's my experience. Now, brother, you may have a whole different experience with pastors, and that's all good. You know, then you use those gifts that you have in influencing pastors, and if it's going to be utilized in a place like Mississippi, then hey, let's go with it. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it just doesn't go as smoothly as you're saying. And it is not just your fault, but many of these pastors are conditioned into going with white folks or not really being much of a help to the people that need help in the community.
Yeah, so let me finish my point.
That's true. I'm not saying that you're wrong, sister.
All right, so
I understand that.
Yeah. Excuse me. I mean, both of y'all really cut me off. Let me finish my point. So
I think just the opposite. You don't go in there with war flags. You don't go in there doing town hall meetings with the general populace. What you do, first of all, and the sister's correct here too. First of all, you need to find a particular place where you're going to start. Now, I would suggest, if it is Mississippi, you need to identify a place in Mississippi that has some type of infrastructure that you can use to market. So, for instance, wherever there are water plants, wherever there's industry right now, wherever there's a lot of synergy and energy as far as building up the economy, you will probably want to start there. Now, here's what you do. You find their election cycles. You do hit the ground. You find out the people that are running, and I guarantee you, you're going to be able to find some unity in one or two of the people that are running. This is how you show whether or not you got power. If you can't run a person and get them elected to a city council, you ain't gonna take over no damn county, and you ain't gonna, and certainly you're not gonna take over no damn state. It's just not gonna happen. So if you cannot find a particular municipality within Mississippi, preferably one that has it's close to a port, you need certain types of infrastructure if you're going to try to build an economy. Start there. Find the next election cycle. Find out the people that's running. You go in, you talk to those people, and you slowly take over those city council seats. I wouldn't F with the pastors at all. Period. Now I'll pass the mic.
Oh, thank you, Brother Micah. I don't like to respond. Okay. Yes, sir. Brother Taalik, I think, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
That's close enough, so it's all right.
Would you like to reply on this, or I'm not sure, on your approach? And you may know some, let me say this respectfully. Yes, from my experience, a lot of pastors, having so much, the black, on that people's side. But I would say this respectfully. That doesn't mean that every pastor is not going to do it.
Right.
At least give our people the benefit of that doubt, in my humble opinion. And if they're not on the bad way, then we move on. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic to our dear brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely get what you all are saying about the pastors. And my thing is that we get stuck in the mindset that we can save everybody, and we're not going to be able to save everybody. Some of us are really, like Brother said earlier, some of us are comfortable in the situation and the way that things are. So those are the people that we just have to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get people with like minds that are on our level of thinking and want more for our people, want more for our descendants, that the people that's coming after us, those are the people that we're looking for to pull in. I want more for mine than what I had.
Right.
I don't, the one thing I don't do, I don't beat up on nobody's religion,
mm-hmm.
and I don't beat up on anybody's particular mindset unless they're trying to roadblock my mindset. Then you're gonna see the warrior and the God come out. But other than that, I let people, be who you are, be what you want to be. But my thing is, when you try to roadblock me and my family, then you got a problem. And make no mistake, I consider everybody on this line my family,
mm-hmm.
and I don't even know you. But because we are in the same mindset, I consider you family. So if you go to hurt one of my family, then you got to deal with me on some type of level. Because my thing is, a lot of times we let stuff slide to the wayside, and we see what's being done wrong. And my thing is with these pastors, if they're in the mindset of if money is is what they are, you know, more, if that's what they worshiping, then they don't belong in the pulpit. And we got to run some of these pastors out of the pulpit because all they're doing is they're prostituting their flock and getting money out of them, and they're not giving back. You know, I saw something that, you know, I hate to bring up white churches, but there was a story back in, I think it was November, December, where the church, for that whole month of November, they gave everybody in the church $1,000. Take care of whatever they need to take care of. They didn't ask no questions. They just gave it to their parishioners, giving money back. And I've never seen a black church do that. To give money just back to people, it don't got to be $1,000. I'm like $300, $400, $500.
Right.
You know, $100. You never know what that money could do to help somebody that's in need. Exactly. And my thing is, to me, that's what religion, the religious mindset should be about: giving back to the people, helping the people.
But see, that's what you know of seeing, brother. And I'm glad you're talking about this because you are just hitting, boy, you are hitting the nail on the head all over the damn place. That is really the bottom line. You just said it right there. They're not giving back to the people. And do you know how many times I've read articles where a parishioner wanted help for a bill and the pastor wouldn't do it? You know, that's what I'm talking about. But you really, you're on fire.
Yeah, because they'll ask the parishioners, well, Sister so and so needs $500 for a water bill. I need you to put some extra money in the plate today. Nah, you got all our money. Why don't you do it? You know, that's what I'm thinking. My thing is, if it's about faith, if you want us to have faith in your church or whatever, you gotta have faith in the people. And my thing is, you know, I see a lot of times, especially when I see these mega churches and these pastors flying around in $65 million debt, I'm like, come on now. You know, what mentality does that give to a person, especially if you're just trying to jump into it?
Right. And you know what? And that same pastor that you're talking about said that anybody that didn't tithe should be taken outside and shot.
Oh my God.
Okay. He wants a $65 jet, but he's saying anybody in his congregation that don't tithe to him should be taken outside and shot.
Right. And that's the mentality we need to have with them. If you're not going to do what we want you to do as a people, we're going to take you outside and we're going to shoot you. You know, that's the way, unfortunately, that we need to be. If we really want to move this thing forward, we're going to have a code that people stick to. And if they don't stick to the code, we need to hold them accountable in the most harsh way possible.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Brother Maurice, I think he wanted to comment. Yes, sir. You're next.
All right. Thank you, Sister Pam. And thank you, I told you, because every nugget y'all drop, I'm sitting here writing and taking notes. So I want to go ahead and lay out my vision, and then we can see where it's at, and I can come and give you more on what I have been researching just from listening to what y'all were saying. Now, my thinking is that the city that we choose within the state, it should be a city where the population is low. It should be a city where it's not performing the best, but the residents there are looking for a change and accepting a change. That the city should have a majority black population. So the fact is, you know, since go over, check it out, make sure it's okay, come back, report it to the group. The group say, well, this is the one we move on, but this is where we move. Whether we're dealing with passing, medicine, whatever, you know, at the end of the day, is what is your mindset? Mm-hmm. If your mindset is not matching up with what you're carrying, if your mindset is not matching up with what you're carrying, we're going to move you out the way. So that's why I say with low population, so when we come in, we're not coming in with 10,000 right off the bat. It's just not realistic. But when we do come in, we take the mayor's office, we take, seats in the city council, so that gives us power and control to say whether we want to fire everybody in the police force and replace them with these people who have this type of mindset. We want to change the way it's going on in the school and replace it instead of letting the school become our enemy. We run the school where we put in there what we want our children to learn. That way we're beginning to change things so people can have security. We work on doing international trade and commerce. We have our people in the continent, so we should be able to look up with them and do what needs to be done. Now, I know nothing just said that, the land has to be fertile, it should have a connection to the sea. So we want to be able to have whatever the kidney movement, it should have good fertile land so that we can begin to grow our own food where it needs to be grown so we don't have to worry about the fake food that's out there on the market. The store needs to be able to be in a situation where we can support what we do, just like they did on Black Wall Street. Okay? So it's a lot of research in here that we have to get done. But I believe this is going to be successful. We know that we'll have our police force and they'll be thinking the way that we think. We will also have a militia, and we train them and we make sure that they do the way we think. So when we really come, because we're going to come, we can be as successful as we want, and we're going to come. And when they come, we will kill their asses and we'll win body back. So to be able to do all that stuff, our infrastructure must be secure. We need to be able to control our own water, our own electricity. All of these things we have to be able to do and do it successfully. And how do we get, I'm not so much sure about making, doing life investment things, but we need our own people to do the investing. And we need to be able to do the things necessary to sustain our way of life. Even if it calls for us creating our own money that we spend within our own town. Now, there's different places out here in America where white folks create their own money, and they spend their own money in their section of the city with their own money, and it ain't a problem. So it would not be a problem for us either. We just have to decide how we're going to do it, how we're going to make it work. Now, I don't know that we're taking the electric company. I don't know who owns the electric company. But if it's a city that owns the electric company or has some type of deal with the electric company, then we should be able to get in there and make our own rules of how we're going to do it. Just like the EFF is trying to do in South Africa and take the land and do this with land companies, we should be able to strategically do the things necessary. And if we're successful in one city, we can make it grow to the next city. And we just have to be successful in one. Now, when we're talking about the population, which states have the biggest black population. The states that I looked at, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, North Carolina, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee. Louisiana is 32% black, Georgia is 32% black, and Mississippi is 37% black. Now, the white population in Louisiana is 63%, in Georgia, 61%, and Mississippi is 59%. So those are the top 3 states where there's 10 times the Mississippi, and I'll do the rest of them as well, but I have Mississippi already prepared, and I'm just going to give y'all the breakdown of these 10, and then we can talk about, you know, what else do you think that I need to go research, and then bring back to you all so we can make some decisions. So one of the cities is called Yazoo City, and this is in Mississippi. The population is 11,336. The median income is 20,000. The unemployment rate is 24%. The poverty rate is 48%. Now, these cities that I grabbed are the poorest in the state of Mississippi. And again, because that's thinking that would be the easier ones to take. The next one is Northville. That population is 6,373. The median income is 26,000. Unemployment rate is 17%. Poverty rate is 43%. Then Greenville, Mississippi. That population is 32,612. Median income is 27,000. Unemployment rate is 20%. Poverty rate is 36%. Indiana, that is 10,000. Population. Median income is 26. Unemployment rate is 17. Poverty rate is 31. Clarksville, population is 16,000. Median income is 29,000. Unemployment rate is 19%, and poverty rate is 35%. West Point, population is 11,000. Median income is 27,000. Unemployment rate is 15, and poverty rate is 31. Columbia, population is 6,000. Median income is 24,000. Unemployment rate is 2%. Poverty rate is 43%. Then number 8 is Cusco. That population is 7,000. Median income is 28. Unemployment rate is 13. Poverty rate is 32. Number 9 is Hattiesburg. Population is 46,000. Median income is 30. Unemployment rate is 14. Poverty rate is 36. The last one, number 10, is Greenwood, Mississippi. Population 14,000. Median income is 27,000. Unemployment rate is 9.8. And poverty rate is 38.6. Those are the 10 poorest cities in Mississippi. So, what do y'all think about those? Let's go one at a time and get everybody's input. And then what other areas do I need to be researching, or what else what else should I find out that you would have questions about, or where we need to go, why this, or this, that, and the other thing. And we'll start out with Micah.
Yes, sir, brother. When I'm going to text the Sister Pam, my email address. Would it be possible for you to text me that info?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The first thing I would say, bro, is find out which county each of those municipalities are in. I would be willing to bet that most of those are going to be in an adjoining county, or they may be in the same county. So I would think you certainly want to know that. The other thing that you should do is pull the election records for each municipality so you can see who's voting. Do some demographics. So I think you're on the right page. So that's all I have to say right now. But you're on the right page. I mean, this is how this works. Exactly what you're doing. So I'll give the mic. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Brother Nico. Sister Lisa?
Well, yeah, I also agree that you need to find out what the overall demographics are in the county. And you certainly want to know what type of resources are in those areas. because I think if you can win the people over in moving to like certain areas to, you know, with the intention of taking it over, I think that's a good start. I really do. You know, and as far as taking over the politics, that, you know, that would come naturally if you have the people moving in. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just finding out about that, and also, you know, the housing. What is the average cost of housing there? Okay.
So this is some kind of e-map, but we at the unemployment rate in this type of businesses, or, you know, like in Monroe, all we have is saying restaurants and you know, kind of see what kind of skills or what's more popular, what kind of work that we may do in state cities. Also, to me, that's kind of important. And with that, I pass this mic on. Thank you so much.
Brother Ivy, can you speak yet? Okay, so he probably can't speak yet. Brother, you just
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any information that we can get on this state, of course, is beneficial to the effort. There's no doubt about that. My main thing is this should be a national effort, and we're looking at some things that should happen after the fact. You know, we're talking about the preachers and the pastors and all these other folks. This should be a national effort, because what I'm looking at is that you're bringing in your own people from the outside. You're just wanting to see what you have to deal with in the inside, and to see if you can get the residents that are already there on your side, which makes things easier. But you want to recruit and bring your own people from the outside to become a resident, because if they do that, we already know whose side the outsiders are on. We already know that, so it don't make no difference. You want to bring in, you want to, what was that tactic that they used during the Iraq war? Shock and awe. The plan was just to overrun the enemy with overwhelming numbers. That's what you want to do. So it don't make no difference. If you can get a good majority of the locals there on your side, that's cool. But you plan on bringing in your own folks. You bringing in your own people. And see, this is the thing. This is where I'm saying that it takes sacrifice. See, I don't know. I hear a lot of comfortable things going on. You know, when you are at war, you're not comfortable. You know, Brother Maurice, you're a soldier, and some of these other brothers, you know, I don't know if the sister's been at war. When you are at war, they put you in places, you know, mosquitoes, you bogged down in mud. You know, this is a horrible type feeling. This is the way I look at this. I'm looking at this as war. You can't be going in and trying to make folks comfortable. If I have to eat beans every month till I get the job done, then so be it. I'm not trying to make nobody comfortable. If you want to come in and be comfortable, then this is the wrong place for you. This is a war. If I have to eat beans for 6 months, then I'll do it. If I have to sleep on the ground, you know, sleep in tents or whatever, you know, that's what I'm willing to do in order to get this job done. I got a mission I need to accomplish. I'm a soldier here. You know, if you want to be comfortable, then just continue to do what you're doing. This is a war here. That's why you want to bring the people in. And your outsiders understand that they are soldiers. You going in to accomplish a mission here. You're not there to be comfortable and get a $50,000 job and stuff like that. That's not what you're trying to do here. You're an invader trying to take control of the politics, the laws, and the policies of this nation. Then you can begin to work. You got to get all the trash out the way first. You got to move all that crap out the way first. And that's why you come in with overwhelming numbers and just smash it. And just like you said, learn what all your elections is. And you bring in your own people, they become residents, and you put your own politicians in office that that's what their mission was, to come in and be put into these offices, council or the governor's house, wherever they need to be. You bringing in your own people because they residents, and you bring them in here. That's what you're trying to do. I'm not trying to make and suggesting that we be comfortable. I'm not trying to be comfortable. You're a soldier. You come in here to take care of. You're taking over a country. Basically, that's what you're doing. Just like the soldiers had to do in Iraq. I'm pretty sure, they was eating what they call them IRDs, those blow up, those dried up food. You have to be you're a soldier here. That's what we're trying. That's the way I'm looking at it. This is a war. I'm not trying to make people comfortable and things of this nature. You go in here to do a mission. Then after you conquer the enemy, then you can talk about all these other beautiful things. What's the sense of doing all these beautiful things and they still on control? They can tear your stuff down anytime they feel like it. What are you going to do to stop them from tearing up what little that you do accomplish or hinder your progress? You got to move the skunks out the way first. That's the way I'm looking at that, bro.
Hey, brother Maurice.
Yes, sir.
Brother Micah over here. Yeah. Can I ask the brother a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Can you give me a profile of these soldiers? Could you be more specific? Where are they coming from? Are they coming out of Georgia? Are they coming out of California? How do you recruit them?
Well, first of all,
give an example of how you recruit them. How do you find them? Where are they at?
Well, you find them by having discussions like this. You find them by putting all over social media, all over the country, and letting people know what's going on here. That's how you find them. And they will come. They will come. All over the country.
So are you suggesting, are these brothers that don't have families? Are they unemployed? How are they going to get to Mississippi?
It could be. That's what I said in the very beginning. This is a nationwide effort. Those who cannot go or move or make that move themselves, then they are soldiers, and we support them just like we would do any other soldier at war.
Now, who is we?
Those who want to see this happen. Now, those who are not interested don't have to do nothing.
But, there are many of our people that got children. And I understand you want to go down there and you want to be in a war. But, people with children are not going to see it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, and I understand the brother. I mean, I've been in a lot of political battles and things of that nature. But let me say this to you, brother. Let me give you another example. You talked about bringing in your own voters, which I understand that concept. What are the addresses that they will use to register to vote? You can't register without having a piece of property. So what are the addresses that they'll use?
It's not difficult to get an address. I've had all kinds of addresses. You can get your address. That's not going to be any problem.
Yeah, but I'm just saying these are some of the things that you really do have to look through.
Right.
The rhetoric, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with rhetoric.
Yeah.
But the rhetoric has to be able to be lined up with science. As soon as the rhetoric can't be lined up with political or economic science, then you need to dismiss it.
Well, this is the thing about it. See, first of all, I don't know why we like dismissing things, and we haven't even attempted to try. I don't. When people dismiss things and we don't even.
Stay with me. Okay. Listen exactly to what I said. I said if the rhetoric cannot be lined up with science, we dismiss it.
That's true.
I didn't say dismiss the rhetoric. I just said we need to make sure we can line it up with science. So you don't have to get defensive, brother. We work together.
No, I'm not defensive at all. What I'm saying basically is why do people, we're not, see, how can I explain this? And I understand the questions, and it's good that we question things or whatever, but it don't take much. It don't take much to find all these things. The first thing that we have to do is want to do it, because if you want to do it, everything that you're talking about, you can find a way. I mean, that's the way this country was founded. They came here, hostile natives, wild animals, all that. You're not facing none of those things. They came here. That's the way that you have to look at this. This is hostile territory, and you got to find a way around all these different things. If the people need an address, then you find a way to get that done. You're not facing wild animals. You're not facing, well, you might face some cold or whatever, and bad weather and things of this nature. It's how bad did you want something? Just like if you're chasing a woman, how bad do you want her? You know, I know some brothers really go out the way to get a woman that they like. Is this a woman that you like? Do you really want freedom, justice, and equality? How bad do you want it? Because the idea is good. So we come together and we can just make it better. We go through the details. But the idea is there for the taking. Make it better and go for the gusto. That's all we have to do. It should be a national effort, because this accomplishment benefits the 40 to 70 million of all. And see, this is the thing about it. It should not be if. I get that from Brother Maurice. He said, not no if. He said, when you do this, all the naysayers, believe me, they'll start coming in because they'll see that you're successful. Nobody wants to be with a loser. But those who are brave, those who are brave, the ones who the first foot's on the ground, that establish, that's put down the flag, they'll show you the rest of them. Oh, well, it's good. It's good to go. And there are families. I know that there probably are families that's willing to make a move, to do the same thing. Not only just single brothers or something like that. You have families that's willing to make a move. It's according to how that we do that. You take your time, step by step, go through the process. When you see something not working, quickly move back and get back on course.
Okay.
So, it's just it's a process.
And the thing about it, I want to understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I asked questions. Now, I want to press you just a little bit more on this issue.
Okay.
Because you keep bringing up the word national.
Right.
And from a historical perspective, tonight, and a scientific perspective, we know there is no nation, not one on the planet, that was built nationally and then moved locally. Not one. All right. So the concept of attempting to go national, to get national appeal for a local issue, I don't see the rationale. Again, if you can't take a core group and gain control of a few political seats here and there, then you do have a team that's looking economically, making connections, maybe on a national level.
Uh-huh.
But I want some clarity on what you mean when you keep saying this needs to be a national effort. Could you be more specific? What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. National. It should be a nationwide effort in order to accomplish this mission. We should have the support of all the 40 to 70 million dark-skinned people in this nation.
Okay, brother, you know that's not gonna happen, brother.
Well, we don't know what might happen until we put the word out there. That's why I'm saying that you have to put the discussion out there, get people talking, and let's see what the people. I mean, if the people don't want it, then so be it.
Yeah, all right, I got you.
If the people don't want it, then so be it.
That's when the roadblocks start popping up. When you start trying to bring everybody in. Because we can't do it, and it's never happening. It's never happened. Yeah, and it never happens. We've seen it in our movements before. You
can't go by what happened in the past. I don't care what happened in the past. This is 2018.
Brother. The main thing, that we need to be realistic off the break. And like I was saying earlier, we can't even get people to stay out of Starbucks for one day. So, and they see how they treat us. And they still going in there buying their product. So my thing is that we're not going to get everybody, and we shouldn't have the mindset of trying to save everybody, because everybody don't want to be saved. And that's a waste of energy to go that route. I mean, I get what you're saying,
right.
And I wish it was that way too, but it's just a wish. And I've seen it before. If we don't pay attention to the past, we're doomed to repeat it.
You know
how many people Dr. King had gunning for him? How many people Malcolm X had gunning for him? How many people Marcus Garvey had him that look like him? I mean, come on, man. Let's be realistic here. If you're going to go down there, we got to have a plan in place. We got to reach out to the local people that are there so we can get their mentality, so we can gauge their mentality.
I said that.
If we get with people that have the wrong mentality, we're screwed right off the bat. Because some people will run right to the white man and tell them what our plans are, and we can't have that.
Well, this is it, okay? I don't care. I don't care about what the white man gonna do, and I don't care what he knows. I'm a prime example. I am a prime example of what I'm talking about. I was locked up for 10 years in the nut house. They told me that I would never get out of there alive without their approval. That's what they told me. Okay, so
I'm glad you made it. I'm really glad you made it.
But you know the reason why I made it? I made it because I had faith in myself. I made it because I was able to get the appropriate information in order to get that job done. And they told me that it was impossible. They told me in 100 years, nobody ever got out of this place without their approval. Well, clearly, I broke that winning streak. I was able to do the impossible. Here we are in a situation. I understand about the past. But see, that's the thing about it. Clearly, we ain't learned nothing from the past. Clearly, we don't know what we done wrong in order to clear that up so that we can progress from the past. I'm not looking at the past. I'm not looking at the past. I'm looking at the lessons that I learned from the past. Also, I do have faith in our people. If you don't have faith in the people, you might as well just give it up. Just be a good slave. Let's cut this conference off and just go back to being a Negro, what we used to doing. If you don't have no faith in your own people, a person, it's according to what they are presenting. A person that is one way today may not be that way tomorrow. We don't know. The way a person treats you, they might not treat me that way. So you have to look at it in all these different aspects that this is needed. If we cannot pull something like this off, talking all this, I'm a god and I'm a god and we kings and queens and we warriors and we don't need the white man. What's the sense of talking all that? Prove it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, show and prove. That's what I was taught when I was in the nation. Show and prove. Stop talking all this garbage. You this and that and this and that. Prove it. If you, when we pull this off, yeah, go ahead.
I want to say that, Gavin, for most part, I put out videos every morning as I'm on my way to work. And, we read comments about, first thing I read the comments. And one thing that I do understand, when Muhammad Ali was very popular, the enemy put him in a movie. And in this movie, he plays the hero. And he was supposed to be leading his people to freedom. And he led our people to the slaughter. So everybody with him got killed. Now that was a message that the enemy sent out. And Muhammad Ali evidently was not paying attention to what he was doing in this movie. Because he should never have made it. But our people, they look to me, they look to Sister Lisa, to a lot of others, to Brother Miko, Brother Isaac, you have your followers on YouTube, Sister Taylor, our people listen to what we are saying. And for us at the Initial Radio Network, one of the things we know, we make sure we drill it in our mind so we can understand it, is that we're on the policy in the hearts and minds of our people. So when we're talking about a move like this,
wow,
and we're talking about giving our people free, we know that we have to learn from what was done in the past, because we can see that this enemy, he continues to do the same thing he's done in the past. So we have single mothers who want to, when we say move, they want to grab their children and move. But we as men have a responsibility and a duty for their protection, because we're saying the right words. That God wants in the DNA of our people. And we understand that. Yeah, let's do it. But we can't be emotional and not have all our research in, have all our facts in, we still don't make the move. Because if we don't do our part, our due diligence, and do it correctly, we will be losing our people to the slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one thing about me, and Sister Pam, everything I do when I'm speaking before our people, I want to make sure I'm writing it back. I don't want to do nothing fast. I don't want to do nothing wrong, because they're looking to us for leadership. And we can never betray their trust.
Mm-hmm.
We can never betray their trust. So we ought to do to research, to plan, to plot, to make sure we have backups, because our people's lives are on the line.
Mm.
And we're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to lose lives, and we're going to take lives. But I don't want to lose one life unnecessarily. I don't want to hurt not one of our people unnecessarily. So we've got to be careful of how we do it and make sure that we're doing everything properly.
Mm.
That's why everybody on the ground, we have the same goal in mind. But we are at expertise at different points. And we have to be listening to each other. Because when we're listening, we can take notes. So everybody should be taking notes who can. That's what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to be done, what I need to do. Because this is not a pipe dream. This ain't a pipe dream. We are build this new reality.
Yes, sir.
Because this is the time for us to do it. So since we're going to do it, and as Gavin said, Tyler, this is glad for conversation. We have to be mature in how we're dealing with it. Because there's no emotion, there's no, we dealing with what is right and fast for the best of our people. Now we got to work together to get it done. And when we work together and plot and plan like we should, we'll be successful.
Mm.
But we got to listen to each other and then do what we're supposed to do. Because our people's lives are in the line. This stuff is on our clock now. We can't go back and say your king is this man, the hand of God. Or we can't have hand of God. Because God is the hand of God. Now we have that knowledge. Got to take it to the next stage, and it's called implementation. We got to build it.
Mm.
We have to build it. And we can do it. Let's listen to each other and build, because our people's lives are on the line. And I rest my mind.
Yes, sir. Something else came to mind. Well, a couple things. But do you have a non-profit status?
No, sir.
Okay. The other thing you will probably want to, what we need to check out, and I'm giving you all this research.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I think they have a nonprofit status is because I will make a donation, brother, for you doing this research, because, you know, I believe in what we're trying to do. So I'll make a donation to you.
Yes, sir.
Another thing you would want to find out in those 10 cities, find out who the major employers are. That's key. Who are the major employers? Okay? That's very key. But that's going to tell you where the power is.
Mm.
Who are the major employers?
Yes, sir. Exactly. I agree. Yes, sir. Are there any more comments? Sister Lisa.
You know, Maurice, you know, I handle, you know, when I was telling you about my construction company is nonprofit. So what I would say to you is, you know, if somewhere along the line, if you see a need for us to maybe put things in, just let me know, because then, you know, I can make arrangements for those things to happen. Now, I know we were talking about war and everything, but, you know, if you're going to have families moving there with small children, you do have to make things comfortable enough for those children to be in those environments. So we can't really be unrealistic about those things. But I think, you know, I really believe that if we come together and meet and just start piecing together this whole process, it definitely can be done. We really don't need to start with a lot of people in order to move with others. You know what I mean? If we have everything planned out and we have the infrastructure and it's bearable for all of us, including our children, you will not have a problem influencing others along the way. So with us.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. You and I, as the sister was talking, I just a quick joke. I said, and in some cases, you have to almost trick black folk into putting on the Black Panther coat and to wear the afros. Because once they look in the mirror and see they got it on, you might have a problem. So, and the source is absolutely correct. People will, as they see momentum, they'll jump aboard. Now, let me ask the sister. Now, you said that your construction, is it a training type organization?
No, sir. It's a real construction company. I have contractors that do residential homes, commercial businesses, and roads. They know how to put roads in and everything.
All right. So would it be a problem for you to set up some type of little ad hoc partnership with Maurice under the guise that he's doing research for new markets for your construction company in Mississippi? Then the donations can be made to your nonprofit to help offset a little bit of the time and effort that he's putting in. And those people who make that donation can get a tax write-off. Is that
that's absolutely possible. But you know, we can talk about funding. You know, what I think we should do is try to see if we can come up with a plan. And then we can start looking at avenues of getting funding, you know, and start building some type of structure where people can give donations, and we can look at all kinds of avenues of even getting businesses to make donations as well.
Yeah, I would agree with this.
You know, absolutely. You know, this is going to be a process. We know. And, you know, it's trial and error. We may fail in some areas and succeed in others. Like my mom used to say, you don't know what's going to happen unless you try.
That's right.
You know?
All right.
But yes, Brother Maurice, we can come together and do a business venture, and then you know, like, but try to make yourself a corporation, a business.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Brother, again, you were start business. Taalik, I'm sorry. How do you pronounce your name?
It's Taalik.
Taalik?
Yeah, like Taalik.
Oh, Taalik.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or you can call me Soul Brother. You can call me Soul Brother #1. That's my title. That's much easier. It's Soul Brother #1.
Okay, Soul Brother #1.
Yeah, nobody else wanted the title after Brother James passed, so I'm like, well, I'll take it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would you like to make another comment, sir?
Well, this is the type of, you know, this is the type of discussion that we need to have, not only here but around the country. This is exactly what we need to get this discussion going. And I can guarantee you, when we put the, you know, it's important in a situation like this. I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. I'm pretty sure Brother Maurice don't believe he's Mr. Know-it-all. This going to take brains in order to pull something like this off. You know, it's brains power, not just me or individual or group. It's going to take a lot of brains, because there's a lot of things that's going on, that's happening. You know, I can't think of everything. I just can't do it. You know, this is a big project here, something that's humongous, and one person just can't do it. You need, you know, and even if you were succeeded, it's a lot of other things that you have to deal with that, you know, I have no knowledge of or whatever. So this is a big team effort, and I'm just happy if I'm welcome on the team. And so,
yes, sir. Praise you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Let's see, Brother Ivy. I don't know if the brother's still available or not, but if you are, you may, make a comment if you choose to.
No, I appreciate us having a conversation. I appreciate being invited to the conversation. And I just, you know, we have to move forward. We know that people have money, and you know that movie made over $1 billion, so we know our people got money. So
right.
The thing about it is that, you know, like the brother and sister said, it's a matter of us having these conversations and getting people in the right mindset of doing what we need to do for our future. Because right now, you can name the cities along the East Coast: Atlanta, Washington, New York, Boston, New Orleans. You know, these cities, you know, Austin, Texas, Los Angeles, these cities are basically gentrifying to the point where they're moving all the black people out.
Mm.
So, you know, we have to see that, you know, we're not talking about a war. We've been in a war, but some of us don't realize that we're in a war.
Mm.
You know, we get killed with impunity on the daily, you know, and the system works against us, you know, every chance they get, you know, giving us, you know, plea deals and all that. You know, we have to look at all of that, the way the system is oppressing us.
Yes.
And we have to get out of that.
Yes.
By any means necessary.
Right.
As the famous saying, you know, by any means necessary. So, you know, if by hook or by crook, we got to do it, we got to do it. But we got to do it for our people. And if your mindset isn't with the people, then you already did it.
Mm.
And on that, I'm going to rest my mic.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Ivy. Brother Miko, and then we'll turn it over to, Brother. Okay, we've lost someone. Excuse me. Who have we lost? Brother Maurice, Miko, Taalik, Sister Lisa?
I'm here. Brother Miko.
Okay, we lost someone. Perhaps it was Brother Ivy. Are you still here? Okay, Brother Taalik?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, Sister Lisa.
Yeah.
Are you here?
I'm
okay,
here.
I think, yes, ma'am. I think we, the brother probably has to go. But nevertheless, the mic is open to final comments, etc. So whoever wants to step up, it's fine. That's what I've enjoyed.
Well, I just like to say that I really enjoyed my time here. I have to go myself, but I really enjoyed my time here, and many of the questions and inquiry was very, very good. And hopefully I get invited back so we can continue the discussion and cause more discussion throughout the social media. So thank you everybody very much, and peace and respect to everybody.
Thank you so much, brother. Peace and love to you, and definitely you are invited.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Have a blessed night.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey,